Imagine if I put everyone who watched the last two videos in a conference room or a picnic or something that requires a lot of people. That would be crowded as hell. My god, thank you so much for the spotlight. I've been doing this for fun and something to make my 15-year-old self committing pogfish for the fact that I am not so shy anymore. Except I remember wanting to make top 10 Pokemon videos, but close enough. I just can't order them, there are too many good ones. Despite that, I didn't introduce myself at all. I should change that right now. I have no idea why, but someone just shamelessly rambling about their sonas or their OCs for like 5 to 20 minutes is just peak content for me. Shout out to the channels with 300 subscribers who made a video like 6 years ago. This one is for you, and it's definitely something I wanna see more. I am sending the brainwaves to make you make one. Ooh, you wanna make one so bad right now. Ooh. After you watch this video, of course. Considering that I can play Pokemon for my art origins, I am a big fan of fusing concepts or even animals together and somehow make them a cool character. Also the fact that there are so many cool and awesome things in this world that I have to merge them somehow. Not enough to the point that I can just fit everything to one Fursona. So I actually have two instead. Maybe 2.5. It's a complicated situation, we're gonna get to that eventually. I have like 20-ish OCs which are just like little guys in my head. I have been a huge fan of my Fursonas lately, so I wanna talk about them in particular today. These guys are new. Like 3 months new. They're fucking Goo Gaga babies compared to some of your sample-year-old Fursonas. You guys scare me, by the way. I am simply very indecisive. That's the only reason. I know I've been into this furry art thing for a longest time, but I have changed my Fursona so many times at this point. I kinda need to make a Fursona evolution video because that shit will be fire, not gonna lie. I just didn't know what the fuck redesigning is apparently. But before we get into them, I would like to mention a few things. Due to my affinity for experimentation and my gender, both can shapeshift. One is just way better than the other. Feel free to guess which one it is. Impossible difficulty. But to compensate that, the other has 2 versions in different universes. I will give more detail about that later. Also, both me and they use any pronouns. I like when people switch around, but for simplicity's sake, I will just refer to them as they. And you can just refer to me as any of their names. Both of them are my aliases basically. I am not giving my real name, don't ask for it. Last summer we had our first summer night expository which gave these vets to your little spoon guy, and I really liked the lionfish and fox ones. The latter pushing me to do some research about kitsunes in general. I really liked the mask that looked devilish with the big teeth, which looked like some Oni influence got into it. By the way, if you want me to introduce my other characters, let me know so you can listen to how much I want her to crush my skull. After the Sweatfest and art fight, I started to feel really bad for my Fursona at the time, feeling that it wasn't just who I was anymore. It was too cutesy. It definitely felt like something my teenager self would have loved, but not my current one. Nowadays, I am the one who would adore the cute thing, not being a little cutie pot with myself. I have been admiring the cool, colorful, older sibling vibe to myself lately. That's been something I am trying to be myself. It is sort of a life source for my confidence, which has been getting way better lately. I am proud of myself for that. So I just sat down one day, opened Clip Studio Paint. I thought of a white kitsune. Despite that, I just made a character based on the Maso pop off, I guess, which has a different colored head and the color palette of CMYK because it fits to what I graduated from, and it is simply a peak color palette. Like, even if you just use CMYK, you will look colorful as shit, and I am here for that. Since I already used it and I wanted my persona to be not super cutesy but somewhat kemono, I went for the horns instead for the Oni vibes. Sometimes I think of removing them, but they look kinda cool. I would feel so bad. I wanted them to be simple, but I accidentally dropped my sparkle dog chemicals and it kinda spilled to their leg and tails. Oops. And they ended up looking like smileys for some reason. I still don't know why. They kinda look like cool spots, I guess. My favorite part about that was it kinda reminded me of a skateboard design which was like really sick. So welcome to the world, Smiley Kitsune. After the sketch, I left this fella in the scraps as a secret for a while, and my kitsune fixation was still strong, so I wanted to make an adoptable badge, and guess what the last one was meant to be? But I just couldn't let it go for some reason. I was simply enamored with this design, and I was too attached to it. So fuck it, Fursona. Despite that, I never got attached to a canine before. I was always a cat person who made cat fursonas, but I am always down for experimentation. I have been enjoying being a fox, especially a magical one. Something was kinda off. Why the smileys? I love the silly little glagos due to how nostalgic they are and how cool of a marking they are. I kinda love them in sparkle dog designs as well. But the design was theme around that basically. And I am not too into emojis. That would be kinda silly actually. But I couldn't decide what the marking should be. Then I realized this is a yokai that shapeshifts. So what if they could use the shapeshifting powers to change their markings around basically, all depending on what the artist wants. So fuck it. Artistic liberty markings. I do have a few rules for that, but aside from that, just go nuts honestly. I have been having huge fun with like more complicated unnatural markings, but you can go like Lisa Frank route or something more simple even. I don't care, just have fun. Then I kind of simplified the head and arm markings so they didn't necessarily compete as much. The leg and tails matter to me the most. Then I made a mood board for it and I put a random ass Arctic fox to symbolize the white fur on their design. But they ended up becoming one because they look so cute with the small ears. For the name I just used my alias for 10 years, which is just Ika. And yes, it's Ika, not Aika. Good to know. They like my authentic self if I also mix in some jet set radio characters in it. I think maturing is realizing you shouldn't care about what others think of you and just fuck it with all as long as it's not immoral. You can sleep with your plushies. Just don't sleep away your common sense. They are a huge art as self-expression enjoyable loss. Drawing, graphic design, video making, and dancing in particular, which are actually things I either do or wanna get better at. If I had a fursuit, I will learn how to dance so bad. I just don't have the confidence for that right now. Same if funny animal costume. They are expressive as hell, and they grin a lot. They are very toothy. I am part of the socialist hit community, I guess. They use their shape-shifting powers to change their markings and stuff, but they can also be different animals if they desire. The design is at least recognizable. So far, I am made Nekomata and a bat. I also wanna make a human design, but I am so bad at the clothes and I kinda want them to have this like very cool streetwear stuff. They aren't the first one to do so, but I just made this Fursona, but they have been helping me a lot when it comes to Burnout and stuff. They are insanely fun to draw and it makes me appreciate art a bit more. And I hope they help me experiment with other art forms and stuff, just make my life happier in general. But I am not always this silly. Sorry. Sometimes my social battery just explodes cutely and I end up looking kinda cold outside, but don't worry, it's still me. I just need time for myself. So I love having this secondary sona that's like a calm version of myself and also more mature because like something will like to relax and just chill, like turn on some hour-long no-toss head-empty Nintendo mixtape while playing web fishing or something, I don't know. More adult sona if you will. I don't mean it that way, but it can be that way. But I kinda have someone else for that. Sorry. When I finally got Splatoon 2 in summer 2018, I just had to make an evening to just play as, you know. But they have been dormant since like 2019 because I was very busy and very into Pokemon at the time, so I couldn't focus on it. Though I redesigned them once due to me getting Octo Expression and just getting very attached to my age rate to the point that they aren't even aged anymore. I had to make a new one for Side Order. He's kinda cute, I guess. I kinda like him. He's my OC. Back to the first Vimo. I can say that I was hooked into them since Splatoon 3 came out, or after hooked rather. But the name was an alias I didn't use anymore, so I changed it to Wally instead. A throwback to my childhood, I fucking loved the name Valerie for some reason, to the point where I named my Pokemon trainers as such. That's nowhere close to my real name. Where the fuck did it come from? I still don't know how it came to me. But for this time, Wally is short for Valentine because they are like very shiny, very bright pink eyes I kinda love. Pink and yellow are peak eye colors for me. Back to the topic, they were supposed to be NOC, but I ended up putting a lot of things that represent me. Also the fact that the community thought the character's name is also my name for some reason. It was because that's what it said in my splash tag. But the Splatoon community just coined the name on me, which is kinda crazy actually. Which made me bond with the Octoling character to the point that I can say they're my Fursona at this point. Well, is someone who looks cold outside because they're not as trusting, but they're very chill when they open up to you. I am kind of the same except I become more like Ika when I open up. I wanted to make a Fursona version of Wild, but the only thing I had was I wanted the pink eyes and I wanted them to be a dragon because dragons are cool as hell. Also, I think it fits them in a way, but I just had no design ideas. Until I made Ika, I was having a bathroom. Not smell like a skunk, but a design literally flash on my head. Like, imagine a shower thought, but it just flashes on you like a flashback for some reason. All I remembered was it was a black dragon with flop ears and horns pointing upwards, but their face, chest and arms looked very shiny and sparkly. It was almost iridescent in a way, but since it flashed on me, I just couldn't remember the exact design. Then while the Vimo saved my ass and basically finalized the design with a fishtail of course, because that's one of the best tail designs in my opinion. I went with a better fish, mostly because I like the frill to contrast the pointy and sharp tentacles and horns. For colors, I just went for the Octo's main hair colors, but more rainbowy and radiant-y. I don't know. Since then, the only design change I did was basically remove the fur, since I don't see why some octopus fish dragon would have fur on it, you know. Also, they look kinda good bald, you know. Kai is fluffy enough. Don't worry about it. I think I explained what's personality earlier, but they chill, mellow, more mature, yet can be psychic sometimes. The dragon version is a bit too quiet to the point. No one fucking hears them. It's totally not something I struggle with all the time. I don't wanna sound like I'm yelling, but no one hears my normal voice. My volume settings are so bad. Anyway, I've been thinking of them being able to change the gradient color like an actual octopus would, but I need to figure out what colors make a cool and awesome gradient and not end up looking like fucking unpleasant gradient. Now that y'all have met my fursonas, I hope they look cool together as well as alone. I wanted to make this yin and yang effect between both of them, where one of them is white and the other is black. One is very silly goofy and the other is calm and chill. One has markings on their left leg and the other has those on right arm, etc. They're similar. These are both have horns, colored teeth, and a face slash head color that stands out from the rest of the design. Also the fact that they both represent me. I know they don't look the most physical merch friendly, but I am willing to compensate if I ever win the lottery or something, or I work and save up like a normal person would. That seems more reasonable. And that's it for the video. Thank you so much for being nice to me so far. I especially love when people comment on my stuff, you know. So to start a conversation, what are your thoughts on Ika and why? Or maybe you can tell me about your personas. I love consuming OC information. Rah, rah, rah. Does one need steals? I am so lazy for that, but I kinda wanna give them a role in this channel since they're supposed to be friends with Ika, and I am giving so many comments ideas right now. I love having conversation with people. Rah, rah, rah.